Good evening and welcome to the 2024 Glitter Bombspiel Draw 8, where we'll be featuring the Frosty Panthers versus the Ice Zaddies on Sheet B, and Gimme, Gimme, Gimme versus Hot to Go on Sheet C. We will also be checking in on Sheet A, 3 Yanks and a BJ versus Strap-On Sliders versus on Sheet D. Then on Sheet D, we have Fashionably Late versus the Fruity Pebbles. I'm Mindy Carlson. I will be speaking slightly, and I will be joined by possibly other people as we go. This has been really fun. This is Draw 8. Losers of this particular draw do go out. This is an L out sort of thing. Let me give you all of the sheets while I go ahead and figure out who has hammer.
Hi everyone, this is Steve Kaltenbach joining Mindy, and we're also going to be joined by Aaron Pena. Yeah, so a quick look. We are still squaring away which team is which color, but on Sheet A, 3 Yanks and a BJ v. the Strap-On Sliders. Sheet B, the Ice Zaddies. That is going to be Michael Ray's team, and I think we have that one right. They're playing red. They're up against the Frosty Panthers. Sheet C, Hot to Go versus Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Really a battle of old school, new school when it comes to songs. And Sheet D, Fashionably Late versus the Fruity Pebbles. But we're really going to be focusing in on Sheet B. That's our featured sheet. The Ice Zaddies, skipped by Michael Ray out of the Potomac Curling Club, versus the Frosty Panthers, which if I'm not mistaken, are out of the Panthers Curling Club in Florida. I will check to see if there's a confirmation on that.
Okay, and I have all of the colors and rocks correct. You can see some of our opening shots. This has been a really fun weekend. This is the last draw of the evening, and then we're going to have some entertainment from the great drag community in the area. And then we'll be back on tomorrow. I think the first draw is at 8:30 in the morning. Those will be the semifinals.
All right, so yeah, as we zoom into Sheet B here, looks like it looks like yellow currently sitting 1. They've got 1 just in the back of the house there. A couple of long guards, and red has set themselves up in the top 12. Oh, excuse me. That's a different sheet. I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, that's Sheet C. Gotcha. All right, over on Sheet B, which you're actually watching, it looks like nothing is quite in the house as of yet. The Frosty Panthers looking to get around that guard, and instead it's just going to slide right in front. So, if anything, it looks like red is just sitting 1. Michael Ray calling for a draw, try to get behind all those guards. I think they're seeing now that there is a lot of curl to be had, especially on this right side of the ice. We mentioned in the previous draw that the left side of the ice, as you're going away from the warm room, doesn't have a ton of curl into it, but the right side very much does. And I think they're seeing now they are able to, just coming up a little light, and they're actually going to shut that side of the sheet down a little bit with another guard. The Panthers, however, are going to try to get behind that rock that was just thrown. Going to come all the way towards the outside of the sheet. That yelling, not actually on our sheet, that sounds like Courtney, if I'm not mistaken, over on sheet A. That is a very nice draw, it looks like. It's going to slide just behind that red guard and tuck in into the forefoot. A really nice shot there by the Frosty Panthers.
So, Steve, they were just talking right before. They were just talking before the game about they were using the ice scraper to net, and so they were talking about there would be a little bit more curl on sheet B.
Yeah, so we've seen Eric Lawson and the ice team put down the scrape, not just before the previous draw, but before this draw as well. I believe they're scraping before every single draw. So when they do...
They're not doing a full scrape before every single draw. They're doing a scrape every 2 draws.
Okay.
But what they are doing, they're using the scraper as a nipper.
I see.
And it gives a much a higher nip to the ice to create more airflow and more speed and more curl.
And we're definitely seeing a ton of curl. You're seeing here the Ice Zaddies looking for a run back, and they are able to run their red into the yellow. Very nice shot there. Everything spills out. I don't believe that redstone is on. I can't tell from this angle. But a really nice shot there. A tricky precision shot in the first end.
You could see with the raising of the hands of James and Bill that they were happy with that.
Oh, yes. And that's the sort of thing that's really going to instill confidence in the team. You know, this is their, third or fourth game in the Spiel so far. And, you know, you might have had some ups, you might have had some downs, but it's the sort of thing where it's like, okay, this is going to be a good game for us.
Yeah.
Panthers looking once again to sneak around that red guard. This might be a little deep. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to slide right out the house.
A little heavy.
And so Mike Ray looking to kind of follow that down. He's been watching how the Panthers treat the ice and how they've been calling their draws. And so he's calling something very similar and just saying, hey, maybe just take a little bit off of what they did. Joe Asercion here, rocking the beautiful Potomac jersey. Sweepers trying to just gauge that weight. The weight looks pretty good, and here comes that ton of curl. And they're able to get this to finish. And it looks like it's going to finish really nicely. If anything, there's just a tiny bit peeking out, but that rock is going to be a headache for the Panthers. They're trying to see how much of it they can see, if it's worth trying to draw around again. It looks like they might be talking about the other side. Nope, they're gonna try that draw again. It should be noted that the Frosty Panthers do have the hammer, so they can't just freeze on this and hope to cut down. They definitely want to look to score here in the first end.
And it's noteworthy that the skip there for the Panthers is giving a lot of ice.
Yeah,
expecting that curl.
I think they've been seeing the ton of curl throughout the spiel. And you know what? I think they've made the right call because they're getting a piece of that red shot rock. Unfortunately, it's just pushing it back onto the button, and it's going to be really, really hard to get that out now.
Well, we have Joe Budwit in the chat saying the Frosty Panthers are from New Hampshire area.
Oh.
And that they play, he thinks they played a Vermont club, but Kristi Collins is his daughter.
Oh, lovely. Appreciate the info. So, yeah, Frosty Panthers from New Hampshire, apparently. What is that, Granite State? Is that the curling club up there? Because I know Granite is in Washington State, but I think Granite State is New Hampshire. So if you are watching from New Hampshire or anywhere else in New England or anywhere else for that matter, welcome. We hope you're enjoying yourself. Once again, this is the Glitter Bombspiel, the nation's original and first LGBTQ Bombspiel here at the Potomac Curling Club, Laurel, Maryland. This is Michael Ray, his first skip stones for the Ice Zaddies, playing red. And he is looking to, just looking to draw in. Maybe push that yellow stone out. Got to get around that guard though. Oh, and he just skinnies around it. That's a very nice shot.
Sweeping.
Oh, that's really well done.
That was great.
So yeah, red now sitting 2. Both of those red stones are really well protected. That yellow stone is completely unguarded. So now yellow's got to figure out just what on earth they do. And frankly, I don't know. With that ice, I'd say they're either trying for the hero draw or I think because that Yellowstone is behind the tee line, I don't think they can hit and roll in. I don't think that's going to get them where they want to go. I think they've got to play the draw, unfortunately. And it's not that the draw is a bad play. It's just not it's not quite what they're looking for, I don't think.
And as you mentioned, that looks like a hero draw.
Yeah, there is just so much junk up front. You're counting on a ton of curl, which is there. Sweepers are on this. They've got to get it around that guard. It's going to be close. I think they're around. Oh, yeah, they're around. Now for the other bit. And, oh, just wicking off that red. It is going to spill in, and it's actually going to be second shot. So a very, very good shot there. If it wasn't a perfect hero draw, it was at least a sidekick draw. Unfortunately, the Ice Zaddies still have one more rock to go, and they're deciding what to do. It looks like they want to target these 2 yellow stones. If they are able to get that second shot, that yellow second shot out, they would be sitting 3 if they're able to stick around.
Looks like just a reminder that yellow does have hammer. So there still will be one more shot after this.
But the interesting thing, and this is a bit of a surprise, that stone all the way up at top 12 is just biting. Oh, so if they're able to double this out and stick around, it's actually 4. Now, obviously you don't have hammer. You don't know how aggressive they're going to be. If I had to guess, I would say that they're going to play a hit. If they end up a little wide and they decide to play for the double, I think it's definitely there. This is, sweepers are on this. This is going to be pretty close, I think. I think they might have just the 1, but we'll see. Oh, just the 1, and kicking that stone out. So red now sitting 2. Now, again, those two stones are very, very well covered. I think the best yellow can hope for, honestly, is a draw for 1. I'm looking to see if there are any, like, insane run backs, anything like that, and I don't think there's anything that's worth it. I think you draw in, you throw basically the same thing you just threw, give the Ice Zaddies a 1, and move on about the game. Now this also has a couple other benefits. One is that if you're the Frosty Panthers, your skip makes the same shot twice in a row and dials in her weight. Like, that gives you a lot of confidence. Unfortunately, it's coming in way too light, crashes on a guard, and it's going to be a steal of 2 for the Ice Zaddies. All right, let's take a look around now at some of the other houses. Thank you for that. Over on sheet A, there is a whole big mess in front of the house and only 2 yellow stones inside it. This appears to be hammer coming down, and it's yellow with the hammer, so they are trying to draw around for 3. And it doesn't look like it looks like it's kind of come up short, but a take of 2 for 3 yanks into BJ, so well done. Over on sheet C, that is real close. It looks like Gimme, Gimme, Gimme is sitting 1 right now over Hot to Go. And they are just moving on to, this is Hot to Go's second skip stone, getting ready. Looks like they're setting up pretty wide, so I'm going to guess they're going to draw in and just try to push that red stone in the 4-foot up just a couple of inches and make it out count. So I would say T to back 4 weight is really the goal here. It's a tough port to hit, but it's there. They're on this pretty quickly. Will they be able to hit that port? It might be coming up a little short, unfortunately. It is a little short. The good news for that is that it also completely blocks up that draw path and that hit path. So it's going to be very difficult for Gimme, Gimme, Gimme to take that red stone out and sit 3. This will be hammer coming up for them. Over on sheet D, Fashionably Late currently sitting 2, playing the red stones with the Fruity Pebbles getting ready to let loose their hammer. And looks like they're just going to be trying to draw around the far side here, or excuse me, around the near side. And they're going to just try to get a piece of the button or otherwise cut down Fashionably Late and try to get them to just 1. All right, over on sheet C, the hammer is away, and it looks like they are not worrying about it. They just are guiding it down. I think they are kicking rocks. They are just happy with the 1 point there. Over on sheet, I believe that was for Hot to Go, yes. Over on sheet D, that draw came up a little light, so that is going to be a 1 for Fashionably. Ooh, I think it was 1. Was it 1 or 2 for Fashionably Late? We'll wait until they hang it. Oh, excuse me. For sheet C, it was other way around. It was Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. It was 1 yellow. So, yeah, I think we are. It was, 2 red on sheet D for Fashionably Late. There we go. So all the scores are. There we go. All the scores are correct as listed on the screen there. Let's go ahead and jump back to our feature sheet, Sheet B, between the Ice Zaddies and the Frosty Panthers. Frosty Panthers have the hammer now, and they have two guards set up on one side of the house, while the Ice Zaddies have one touching the forefoot, and they are now guarding that up. Well done.
It appears they changed their lineup of from the Ice Zaddies. Looks like Joe is now playing second, and looks like that's been a change from the last 3 games.
Where has Joe been?
He's been playing Vice.
Interesting.
And so it looks like James Frank will be vicing this game.
Interesting. I wonder if it's a strategy thing or a comfort thing. That was a very nice hit thing from the Frosty Panthers, peeling that guard and giving a lot of options for a run back or a tap up, all of which Michael Ray is now looking to take away.
I'm sorry, looks like, yeah, James is actually still in second.
Oh.
Or he's still playing second, so that's my... Looked like there was a change-up, and it wasn't.
Okay, all good. I mean, either way, they're both very good curlers. So
That's right.
Looking to, yeah. And again, they're coming down this right side as we're looking at it from the warm room. I think they were expecting a little bit more curl, but it was just slamming into that guard. This isn't a tick rule violation. 1, because we are past 5 rocks in the end, and 2, because it didn't actually leave the center line. So now the Frosty Panthers have a couple of options, and it looks like they're going to try to push one of those yellows up. Whether it ends up being a run back on that shot rock or just a push remains to be seen. Ooh, this might be curling a little bit more than they'd like. They might actually be pushing that red guard up. Ooh, they should stop sweeping. Oh. Well, that's interesting. It ended up over curling a ton, but due to the angles, they were actually able to push a yellow into the house. It wasn't what they called, but it did happen.
And this, it's really curling out here.
Yeah.
I don't think that was expected.
No, absolutely not. I think that the ice is actually now the opposite of what it was in the first end. In the first end, the left side, as we see it from the warm room, wasn't curling a ton, and the right side was curling quite a bit. And now coming back the other way, it's reversed. This looks like it's a guard, and I think that's a great idea from the Zaddies. Just going to sit right on the center line. Oh, that's a very nice shot. And what that does is not only does it block a straight shot on that shot rock, it makes a run back really difficult for the Panthers to send any of their Yellowstones. So I think it looks like they're... Oh, yeah, she's calling for a normal weight hit, so she's looking to blow up that front. And if something decides to take out that shot rock as well, I'm sure they're happy for it.
Looks like weight's there.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to try to keep that as straight as possible. That's going to be really interesting, I think. They were able to peel a guard, and they replaced the stone in front of the shot stone with their own, meaning a run back is there again. Mike Ray, however, saying, nah, we're not going to do that. Calling for the guard again. And I was mentioning this in the previous broadcast. Anytime the back end is throwing guards, you're probably having an okay end. And anytime you're forcing the opposing skip to throw circus shots, then you're having a good end. Now, I do think there are going to be some possibilities for the Panthers when it comes to tap-backs, not necessarily run-backs. We'll see how the math plays out. Oh, that's going to sit in really nicely. Just next to that Yellowstone. So the run back is still there. The margin of error is just much smaller. Stone is away, looking for that run back. And that's going to come out a bit wide, I think. Oh, that is unlucky.
Sorry about that. We had somebody that fell on sheet C, and so I paused my flicking around to make sure he was okay.
So, Steve, can you take us back through what just happened on sheet B?
Sure, yeah. So, unfortunately, the Panthers' run back came out a bit wide, ended up pushing the red stone that was just thrown into the house. It is now covered up, and it pushed the shot rock into the back of the house. So red now is sitting 2, and Mike Ray has a real opportunity here to put a ton of pressure on the Panthers. It looks like he's going to be calling for another guard for himself. This is his first stone. If he's able to, I think optimal play here is in front of the shot stone. I'd love to see him biting the 12-foot just to give them another count. But that is with the way the ice has been playing, especially with the curl, it is a very precision shot. Shot is away. Sweeper staying off of it for now. It's got to come back quite a bit, but here it comes.
He threw a little wider than what was called by the skip.
Yeah, and I think that's coming up a lot lighter than they wanted. It's still going to be really useful as a guard, and I think they're happy with it. That is the pro side miss, as we say. I think there might still be a very tiny lane, a very tiny port, but no, I take that back. I don't think that port is there.
Looks like the Panthers are talking about promoting from the left side as we look.
You know, I like that idea. You can hit pretty much any of them, and they'll go into the house. And I think it would be very useful, but instead, it looks like they're just going to go for the draw again.
We were talking about it, and yeah, looks like they're.
Well, this is their first skip stone. They may be holding on to that for the hammer. You know, they've been playing this side. They've been playing this draw pretty much all in. They might have a better feel for how it looks. Shots away. Sweepers jumping on this pretty quickly. Want to make sure that they're around those high guards. Ooh, this might be coming up a bit light, unfortunately. Yeah, this is going to crash into the guard, I think. Yeah, and that is actually just going to cut off that. It actually doesn't cut off the draw path. Everything spills away. So as it stands right now, there is a way to get into that shot stone, but Mike Ray absolutely wants to clean that up. And I imagine that he's going to be calling for another high guard for himself. probably parallel or as close as he can to those other 2 red stones. And just try to make that port as difficult as possible to essentially force the Panthers to throw a tough, either try to sneak through that port that he's going to create or to play that tap up on the other side, both of which are very tough shots. Mike Ray's last shot is away. Line looks pretty good from here. It might go a little deeper than they'd like. This might actually be coming in. No, it's gonna die, maybe. Wow, that really glided.
That did.
Yeah, that's a real interesting shot, and quite frankly, it's a very good shot because now Red's sitting 3, and the Panthers have a decision to make. It makes the draw. I think it makes the draw a little easier than it could have been, but it puts more pressure onto having that 3rd counter.
They're calling for that draw to the button.
I mean, it's definitely a tough shot, but it's also definitely there. So, looking to see if the Panthers can out-count for 1 here. Sweepers guiding this down. Here
That's curling a lot.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of curl on that one.
Oh,
that
yeah.
might run into that.
I think it is. Yeah, I think this is going to be a steal. Yeah, unfortunately, it's crashing into that redstone, and it is going to be a steal of 3 for the Ice Zaddies. They now take a 5-0 lead after 2. All right, let's do the whip around, take a look at some of the other sheets. Over on sheet A, looks like three Yanks and a BJ are sitting 1, I'd say, from this angle. And looking to see how many stones are left over there. I think this might actually be hammer for the strap-on sliders. Yeah, I believe this is hammer, and they're going to be calling for, looks like they're going to be calling for a pretty, they're going to go for this double for 1. I mean, if they double and stick, it's 2, but I don't see them sticking around. Over on sheet C, it's a fairly open house right now. Red currently sitting 1. That is hot to go. They are down 1-0 to Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Jumping back to sheet A real quick. Looking for that double, yes. And they are around the guard. Trying to curl it over, trying to carve it over. They get 1, they get 2, and they stick around. I think that's going to be a score of 2. They're going to take a look, just make sure. It's definitely 1 red. And yeah, they're kicking it. I think that was 2 red. That's a very, very good shot there.
Nice shot by Courtney on sheet A.
And over on sheet D, as we finish the whip around, Red currently sitting 2. That is fashionably late. Going up against Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles has 2 in the rings. They are not currently counting, but they do also have the hammer. And it looks like over there that is the second to last stone of the end. That is going to be, that is fashionably late's second skip stone that is getting ready to come down.
Back to our feature sheet on sheet B. Panthers just had almost a perfect throw right on the button.
Oh man, that is beautiful. That almost covers the entire button. Well done. There's a certain joy in just telling your lead, hey, just put this on the button, and then they do it.
And you have Bill coming back from the Ice Zaddies trying to end with the takeout.
Yeah, there's also a certain joy in watching another team put one right on the button, go, nice shot, take it out. Oh, very nice double there from Hot to Go. And that is a double for one, so they take one back. They now tie Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Over on sheet B, a guard up for the Frosty Panthers. And the Ice Zaddies looking to actually use it, sneak in behind that. I think they are now realizing that there's way more curl than they were expecting, and that's coming up a bit light. It does come over, but that's just going to be a corner guard. Oh, but the rocks are friends. Look, this is a very friendly game. Frosty Panthers looking to use those guards themselves. I think the sweepers are saying this is also going to be a guard. They're trying to sweep this down as much as they can, but at this rate, they're going to lock down the entire right side. Oh, no.
Their skip is laughing about how much that was curling as well.
Yeah, not only was it curling, but it really just died. I don't know if it hit a dead spot or just started going a little more sideways, but unfortunately that was a hogline violation.
So Michael Ray just called for, that was for
control peel.
A control peel off that yellow guard. James Frank throwing this down.
Yeah, this is the 6th zone of the end, so they do have the ability to peel now. Curling it over, and yep, they get that out of the way. That's, and
a nice,
an accidental push in of themselves. So red now sitting 1, despite their best efforts. It does make the call very easy for the Panthers, though. They call straight away for the hit.
Like they'll get this peel.
Oh yeah, they got the hit, they've got the roll. Will they stick around? I don't think so, unfortunately. And so now I imagine that Mike Ray's going to be calling for, another draw. Actually a bit surprised he doesn't try to use those guards, but he's deciding to see what the ice looks like on the other side. I think he's noticing that there's just a ridiculous amount of curl going left to right now, and he just doesn't want to mess with it. He would rather go with the devil he knows. And yeah, it looks like hard to see, but there we go. Oh, little heavy. Hey, will it stick around? Just in the back 12.
But that's the side where Michael Ray was looking. That's where he wanted it. Maybe not as heavy, but that side of the house.
Yeah, well,
what would be the strategy for having the stone on the left side of that house like that?
So when you have the hammer, it's great to keep the scoring area as wide as possible, because that's more points for you. When you have the hammer, or when you don't have the hammer, it can be useful because if you have a team if you're playing a team that might be willing to chase that stone, try to hit it out, you can cause them to waste a stone or two. At this point, though, I think because the ice is so unstable, I think that Mike did it just to make sure that he has something in the house.
Let's see. Looks like he's wanting to peel that yellow guard as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great call. You're up 5-0. You don't have the hammer. You want to make it as difficult as possible for them to score multiple points. And the way you do that is by getting rid of the guards. Now, that Yellowstone on the far, far right, it's not really going to be guarding anything, so there's no point in going after it. But this Yellowstone closer to the center line could be a potential problem. So it's best to just get rid of it, push it totally out of the way or out of play. You don't much care where yours ends up, but you don't want it to be a guard either. And this might be a bit of a nose. It does move the yellow out of play, which is good because they can't run it back, or they can't tap it back. But that guard still is there. And you see the Panthers now, they're going to try to use it. If they can hide behind it, they only need full 12 to take over shot. Sweepers jumping on this one real quickly. And yeah, I think they've been coming up light on a number of their shots. I think they're still working on the speed. But they've been able to sweep this one really well. They want it to finish. Just get a few last licks in, and this is going to be a really nice shot. Pretty much exactly where they want it. Full 12, behind that cover. It's still a little exposed. It's maybe about half to 3/4 exposed. But you've got to be really happy with that if you're the Panthers.
Looks like Michael Ray might be calling to peel that yellow.
Yeah, he's going to try to get rid of that. With that ice, I'd say he's looking for a good amount of weight. He doesn't really care about sticking around. And he's probably also okay even peeling the guard. He doesn't want to, but job one has to be getting rid of the yellow, if you're Mike. Gives that a nice little shove at the end. Ooh, definitely have to stay on this to hold the line. Sweepers working real hard on this. Will they be able to hold it? Yes.
Oh, they did. Nice sweeping.
Really nice hold by the Sweepers there. Getting rid of that. Red now sitting 2. And so, to my point earlier, the yellow only has 2 more stones left. The max they can score is 2. If they leave this open, you'll just hit it again. And then the max they can score is 1. And with a 5-point lead, that's an absolute win. Let's see if they've been able to readjust the weight. They've got the Sweepers on this all the way down, so they want to try to keep this fairly straight, but I think they're just coming up light again, unfortunately. And yeah, unfortunately, this is a hog line violation. That is unfortunate for the Panthers. I think for whatever it is, I think they're just not quite reading the ice as much as they'd like. Quick whip around. The strap-on slider is currently sitting 2 over on sheet A. as Courtney looks like she's getting ready for her first skip stone. 3 Yanks and a BJ have the hammer in that end, but they've got some work to do if they want to score. Over on sheet C, it's tied 1-1, and Gimme, Gimme, Gimme is sitting 2 with the hammer. So hot to go. Looks like they're going to be wanting to get rid of at least one of those stones, and they've got a run back opportunity here. And over on sheet D, red is sitting 1, fast a little late. They're up 3-0, and they are looking okay right now. This final skip stone over on sheet B for the Ice Zaddies coming in. They are just sneaking around that red guard, or that red top 12, sliding into top 8. That is a really nice shot by Mike Ray. And it's cut down the scoring area to the point where the Panthers really have to touch red to score 1. Again, really laying the pressure on. Once again, the sweeper's on this all the way. They have to make sure they're in the 4. And
it may not be enough.
Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, no, unfortunately. Another steal of 3. So the Ice Zaddies coming up with another 3 spot there. They now lead the Frosty Panthers 8-0 going into the 4th end. Over on sheet C, we're seeing Gimme, Gimme, Gimme sliding a really, really nice draw there, blocking up the button. They are now sitting 3 as they head into Skip's Rocks. Now as we look again at sheet B, our feature sheet, once again, the Ice Zaddies up 8-0 after 3. And at this point, if you're the Ice Zaddies, you really want to start playing a lot more defense. You want to keep the front of the house, anything in front of the house completely clear, because if there aren't guards, then the yellow stones can't hide. And you see here, the Panthers come into the house with their first rock, and Mike Ray immediately calling for the hit. If you hit away all of their stones, they can't score. And just trying to make sure this stays fairly straight. And a very nice hit and spill out to the right back 12. Very nice shot there. Let's see, there's been a lot of discussion over on sheet C trying to figure out what's what. Gimme, Gimme, Gimme again, sitting 3. And they are trying to figure out, I believe that's, what was that, Kyle Snyder, and I can't see who that is down there. Trying to figure out what the best play is, and it looks like they're going to go for a pretty wide draw around everything. Every single stone in play is either touching the center line or real close, so you have to go pretty far wide.
Kyle's asking for a lot of ice there. Maybe what he's trying to do is they're sitting 3 right now, and so maybe he's trying to protect.
Yeah, So at that point, if you're sitting 3, I would think that I would want something maybe in the top 12. You don't want something too deep where they can hit and roll in. That's a very nice double there from the Panthers. Snyder's first stone away over on sheet C.
I actually think that was an accidental by the Ice Zaddies.
Oh my. Whoops. Well, like we mentioned, when you have a decent lead, you just want as few rocks in play as possible, and sometimes that includes your own rocks. The Panthers looking to carve this over and get this in. I'm not sure it's going to out-count that blue. No, I don't believe so. But that is a nice little, like, there's a bit of that yellow shot rock still exposed. And Mike's going to come after it. He's going to come this way because even if he peels that other yellow stone, he's okay with that.
He just asked James for control weight.
Yeah, oh, sweeper's on this, holding the line pretty quickly, and I think it's already gone off the shot rock. So now they're just going to go for that other stone. They might be able to they get a piece of it, and they uncover that yellow stone, so that's kind of nice. Yellow's still sitting 1. I think they've got to be perfectly happy with that.
So what do the Panthers want to do here?
Well, here's the problem. They need multiple points, but they also need to protect that shot rock. So I think the thing to do is to throw, in a perfect world, throw a freeze to their own, so that if the Zaddies hit it, they'll only lose 1 stone. That's coming out very wide. It's going to need to come back quite a bit. Now, this ice has been curling a ton, as we've mentioned, but I'm not sure it's coming back nearly as much as they'd like. Yeah, this ends up slipping to the back 8. And the double is there for Mike Ray. The thing is, if he straight noses this, I think that second yellow jams on the red. I don't think he cares about that red in the back enough to not do it. But he doesn't want to jam. He at the very least wants to throw this hard enough so that everything goes. Our Broom Shaggers having some fun with fans. Shout outs to our friends at the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, the sponsors of the ball. This is going to be close. I think they're just going to get the 1 shot rock, and they're going to spill out. Yellow's still sitting 1. Perfectly happy with that. Again, Mike is looking to, every single throw, get rid of at least 1 yellow.
Looks like the Panthers are looking to guard that.
Yeah, I think they have to. At this point, though, they have a little bit more tolerance, so they could put this, like, just biting the top 8 and they'd be okay. Looks a touch narrow, though, especially with the way it curls right at the end. This might be able to sneak in underneath the other guard, but it also looks a touch light.
The sweepers are doing a great job trying to get that.
Yeah.
Oh, just not enough.
They're taking a look. Mike's not sure. From our vantage point, and as a reminder, our cameras are not directly centered over the button.
That is a tough call.
That is a tough call. I imagine that if this were the end state of the end, they would measure. But Mike does not want to deal with that. He's just going to get rid of that back yellow stone. Calling it as control down, and ooh, they're going to need to hold this quite a bit. That's a really nice scrub. Will he be able to hold it? Oh,
just missed that.
Unfortunate. That was a really, really great effort from the sweepers. And so now this is an opportunity for the Panthers. They're sitting one. They've got another one in. They've got some stuff to hide behind. And it looks like that's going to be the goal. Sweepers working hard on this one as well. And here comes that big swing in the curl. Looks like they should be well around that top yellow, but will they have the distance? They currently do not. I'd say they're sitting, again, not sure if it's one yellow or two yellow, but it's only a maximum of two. They are pretty happy with that, though. I think they're seeing that if this is the way it's looking for the hammer, they can go after that red in the back and possibly score a bundle. So Mike really needs to get rid of these two yellows up top and cut them down.
Looks like if he's calling for peel of that, the one right on the center line, but he'd be okay if it curls and takes out both of them.
Oh yeah, I think if he puts it right in the middle of those two, I think they both go. They shouldn't be jamming on anything.
But push from Michael. It's coming down.
Oh yeah, he's got to hold that line.
James and Bill are sweeping hard.
They've got
he got
one,
both of them.
Two, and will he lose that second? Yes, he will. Very nice shot. So yellow now sitting one. Only a maximum of two here. A fairly open draw, though, and they've been throwing the draw, so they should have a pretty decent idea of line and weight.
Looks like Panthers are going to try to bury this next rock behind those red guards.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can sit two, especially with that second stone being undercover, it's okay if Mike goes after that shot rock. Sweepers on this again very quickly, just trying to keep it moving.
That might be light.
I think this is light, and we'll see if it makes it over the hog. It does make it over the hog line, but it's not really what they're looking for, unfortunately. That Yellowstone, completely unprotected. It's the only one there, so the Zaddies are going to go straight after it. And again, at this point, they do not care if they lose the stone. They don't even care if they lose the other red. They just want that yellow gone. Over on sheet C, a lot of sweeping. Looks like Nick Datlowe and Jimmy Fallon couldn't quite get that red out. Over on our feature sheet, a very nice hit. Spills the other red stone out, but red still sitting one, I believe. A wide open house for the Panthers to try to score one, but one is all they'll get. The hammer is away for the Frosty Panthers. Trying to keep this on the level, make sure this gets into the house. They need to touch
Look
8.
at that curl.
Oh my goodness, that went sideways. Oh, and that is just going to come up short. It's definitely 1. They're going to take a look at that stone up in the top, up in front of the house. And yeah, they're saying it's only 1. That stone not in the house. So it's going to be a steal of 1 for the Ice Zaddies. They now lead 9-0 halfway through the game. Taking a look at all of our houses here. Over on sheet A, the strap-on sliders with a 4-2 lead over 3 Yanks and BJ. Strap-on sliders have 1 in the house. Looks like they are about at Skip's Rocks. I think this might be the last Vice Rock. On sheet C, Hot to Go, currently sitting 1 red in the house. Gimme, 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 though, has the 5-1 lead, as Gimme, Gimme, Gimme misses their hit. And over on sheet D, Fashionably Late with a 6-0 lead over the Fruity Pebbles. Fashionably Late currently sitting 1. Yeah, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme off the strength of a 4 spot in the third end have really jumped out to a sizable lead there against Hot to Go. That was looking real close through the first 2 ends. So we'll see if Hot to Go can make the comeback.
It's a nice center guard from the Panthers.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Right on the center line. Not going to be able to move that yet. And you can see the first stone for the Zaddies spilled out the bag. It is still in play because it didn't go fully behind that back line. So that is what we affectionately call a tripping hazard. That is going to be a nice companion guard for the Zaddies. But unfortunately, they don't necessarily want guards in this position, because if they throw guards, that means that the Panthers can throw stuff behind it. If they throw stuff behind it, that's more work you have to do getting them out. With a lead like this, you want to make life as easy as possible for yourself. You want the cleanest sheets you can.
Looks like the Panthers are doing just that.
Oh, yeah. That's a very nice shot there. Just catching the back of the button, hiding behind the guard. That's exactly what you want to see from the Panthers.
Looks like Michael's calling for a draw to the button.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try just to sit on what they just threw. Act as a cut down. Sweepers keeping an eye on this. The weight looks all right from here, but I truly have no idea. They're going to have to push this over a little bit, though. And it is going to just sit in the top 8. So yellow's still sitting 1, actually providing a little bit more coverage for that shot stone. But they're going to need a lot more than 1 if they want to come back in this game.
Skip called for a takeout of that red.
Yeah. That's an interesting call, and I'm not sure.
It looks like it's enough. Just going to kiss it.
You know, I see the appeal because it was something for the Zaddies to use afterwards. Instead, what happened was it pushed it straight over, so now there's a straight line on the center line, yellow, red, yellow. And that's what Michael's going to play. He's going to try for the double run back. Again, he does not mind if he peels the guard. He just wants to move granite. And if that granite ends with red sitting 1, he's perfectly happy with that. So it looks like they just peeled the guard. I believe our evening's entertainment is starting to warm up. Of course, the Glitter Bombspiel, arguably the biggest party in East Coast curling. Anyone who argues with that is wrong. Looks like another draw that might be a little too heavy. Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to go through the back of the house for the Panthers. Yellow's still sitting 1. The Zaddies now have a little more straightforward single run back to get that shot stone out. I think a pretty straight nose will get them where they want to go. And they don't, again, they don't particularly care if they stick around, but ooh, that's moving immediately. They're going to have to sweep that really hard if they want it to hold. And I think this is just going to peel the red. Oh no, it's missing everything. Wow, that moved it. Oh, it did catch that tripping hazard in the back, so that's honestly a win for everyone. But unfortunately, that moved way too much. This, like we said, with the amount of work that we've been doing on this ice, it is very, very lively. There's a ton of curl. And even on hits, it's moving a lot more than I think these players are expecting and are used to, regardless of whether or not you're a local Potomac player or not. But this does provide an opportunity for the Panthers. They want to draw in, again behind this, get in past this red. If they're able to sit 2, they're going to put a little bit more pressure onto the Zaddies.
That throw was maybe just a little narrow, given how much this ice is curling.
Yeah, and it is going to end up just in front of the redstone. And those are lined up pretty well if Michael wanted to try that run back again, and it looks like he does. It actually gives you, I think, a slightly larger area of tolerance.
For those enjoying chaos at home, this is the call that Michael's looking for. Lots of hits.
And that's a very nice shot there. Spilling out to the side. There you go. There you see a look at the house. Yellow's still sitting 1, but that yellow shot is completely exposed. Red sitting 2nd and 3rd. The Panthers have to figure out how to get multiple points at this end. And it looks like their strategy for this one is going to be take out that red. Not a ton of ice, so she's got to have the weight for it. Otherwise, it's going to curl a bit unexpectedly for them.
There's an extra push on that one at the end.
Yeah, I think this is going to work out okay for them, though. Yeah, I think this is going to look really nice. Spill out to the right a little bit. Will it hang around? Get that magic curl? No, unfortunately. It's going to spill just to the side. Yellow currently sitting 1, but like I mentioned, that shot zone completely uncovered. Mike looking to take the open hit. And with that ice, I'm going to say he's going to go pretty heavy on this. Just try to nose it If it goes away, it goes away. If it noses and sticks, also happy with that. Ooh, that is moving immediately, though. They're going to have to hold that down the center line quite a bit. I think they might have already lost it. Oh, they do get a piece of it. And they jam on their red on the left side, spill out. And I think red is still sitting 1, albeit all the way on the far side of the 12. This is the first skip stone for the Panthers. And I think they've got to look at trying to use that red guard. I think that's really the best option they have. Just provide some sort of cover.
Yep. They're going to be trying to sit right behind that red guard. I think that's the only option.
Yeah, even if they tried to use the stones on the right side, there's no cover there, and there's no guarantee that you won't just get knocked out or even outcount that one on the left side. So they've got to try to use that red stone towards the 7. Sweepers on this one, continuing to stay on it. Oh, it's going to be close. Will they be able to get around the guard? Yes, but it's coming up real light. And unfortunately, they're not going to make it. So red's still sitting 1, and Mike is looking to take that draw for himself. It was a really nice line. Being able to just skinny that guard was absolutely the goal, but unfortunately it just didn't have the weight. Mike Ray with his second stone, the final stone for his team this end. Plenty of room, they're saying. Plenty of room to curl, but will it get into the house? Oh yeah, that might be going through. It is going to stick around, and it's just going to provide nice backing if they choose to draw, and they do. So there's a tolerance here to be a little heavier. Panthers wasting no time, already away with their hammer. Looked like she gave a little bit more of a push on that than she usually does.
They have not, their advice has not called for the sweepers to start sweeping. Letting it go all the way.
Oh, that's a real nice shot. There was absolutely nothing that Joe could do about that. That is 1 yellow. Really nice draw there by the Panthers.
Oh, it looks like they're shaking.
All right, and we do have handshakes on sheet B. A final score of 9-1. The Ice Zaddies take it over the Frosty Panthers. Very well played by both teams. Let's take a look at our other games. Currently, is that right? 5-2 for Hot to or yeah. Over on sheet C, Gimme has a 5-2 lead over Hot to Go. Over on sheet A, it appears that it is 4-3 in favor of red, which I have lost track. I think that was the strap-on sliders. And then over on sheet D, fashionably late, pouring it on a little bit, currently 8-0 over the Fruity Pebbles. Taking a look at sheet A real quick. shaping up to be a real interesting house. 3 Yanks and a BJ, I believe, have the hammer? No, excuse me. Strap-on sliders have the hammer. 3 Yanks and a BJ, though, have filled up the forefoot. They are currently sitting 3. All 3 of those in the red, along with a very high guard. Strap-on sliders, though, looks like Laura Yee in the hack.
Courtney looks like she's asking for those to go.
Well, Laura definitely has the power to do that.
Nice push out.
Oh, yeah.
Sweep all the way. Courtney's calling for.
Yep. Looks like will they be able to get around the guard? No.
Oh.
But it does open it up. Gets rid of the guard. It gets rid of their shooter. So now yellow's still sitting 3. I believe Laura's vicing. So they've still got skips rocks after that. Oh, that was first vice rock, so they still have 3 more to go. So now 3 Yanks and a BJ have to figure out what do they want to do to block that up. Do they want to go for the high guard again? Do they want to do something a little tighter? Do they want to try to get another counter? They are only down by 1, so they don't need a massive amount of points. But a steal would be really, really helpful for them. As we take a look again at sheet C, we see Hot to Go looking to once again fill up the other. Yeah, that's just going to be a guard protecting their shot rock, covering up the other side of the center line. I think a hit would still be there. I think just a hack weight hit would be able to get that out. You don't need to be super, super precise and get to nose. Yeah, I think that's good ice for it, too.
Looks like Kyle's calling hack to bumper weight on this.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Sweepers on this one immediately. They might have seen a slightly narrow release. Or they just wanted to keep it clean. It's got to move quite a bit, though, if it wants to get over. Oh, here it comes. Oh, yeah, this is looking like a really nice shot. Very well done. Perfect weight, perfect line, perfect sweep, perfect result. David Schlanger. Schlanger, excuse me. David Schlanger sending out his rock, trying to get a piece of that shot rock, and I think he will do just that. Very nicely done. It is going to spill out into the open, though, and that yellow does hang around in the back 12.
Looks like yellow's still sitting 1.
Yeah, and Kyle Snyder wasting no time calling for a hit on that yellow. I don't think he has a personal preference with how he'd like to roll it. Yeah, just calling the clean now, making sure that it's going to hit. I think this is just going to stick, maybe roll to the outside, just a little. Yellow's still sitting 3, really nice. That shot rock is still exposed, though. And if Hot to Go wanted to go for a double, it's absolutely there. The problem is they definitely need more points. So they might instead just be calling for a hit and flop under those guards instead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They had that double as a possibility, but it looks like they're just going to be taking the shot and sit just to the inside.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. There's a lot more tolerance for a quieter weight hit, especially when you need to get it to the inside of it and control your roll. Now this actually looks more like This looks like it was more of a draw than a hit. That's a bit surprising, but it works really, really well. That's a great corner freeze. I didn't even think about doing the freeze just because I'm so trash at them. But that was a really, really great shot.
Well, you see Kyle immediately call for...
Oh, yeah, he wants to try to just get a piece of that red and get it out.
He wants it out.
And at this point, he does not care about losing his yellow either. It's going to be close. Will it jam? The red spills to the left, and it does get out of play, and the yellows stick around. Excuse me, the red does not go out of play, but it does go out of the house. Yellow now sitting 3. That was pretty much best case scenario. Really great shot, followed by another.
Looks like they're calling for more of a draw to the button, sit behind those high guards.
Yeah, I think that has to be the right call. Kyle and his team are showing that if you want to get into a hit game with us, it's not going to end well. Looks like they're just getting by that guard. Will it be able to stick around, though? Yes. That's a very nice shot into the back 4. And pretty well guarded, too. Now, that being said, taking a look where Kyle is setting up, I think a bumper weight hit should be able to get at that red shot rock. And it's definitely safer to use that than anything else right now. I think they call it hack instead of bumper, but they do need this to curl. They might be, it looks like they're crashing onto their own. Oh, they end up crashing onto the back one. I think they got caught in between 2 shots. They got caught in between the straight hack to bumper hit, and they got caught between the angle hit, and they ended up missing both of them. So red's still sitting 1, and they've got 2 shots left. They really want to figure out how to get multiple points this end. And I think their best shot is to pump another one into the 4-foot, preferably the top 4, but still behind all those guards. Shot is away for Hot to Go. Looks like it's going to be a really nice draw. It's going to come down to that stone in the back 4 and just freeze right to it. Really nice shot. It's going to be dang near impossible to remove both of those. So now Kyle Snyder has a decision he wants to make, and I think the call is to actually sit right on the button and just get in front of that shot stone. Because if they are able to outcount, it's going to be even more difficult to remove that one. Red only has one stone left, and yellow has the hammer. So the one thing you don't want is to accidentally push yours out of play. This has to outcount something. There's Kyle. Very smooth delivery. Sweepers are on this one, but it looks like more of a guide than an oh no. Oh, now it's more of an oh no. Trying to hold it straight, trying to make sure it gets past that red guard, and unfortunately it crashes. Oh, that is unfortunate. Red's still sitting 2, and they have the opportunity to put a third one in. They just have to figure out what that looks like. And I think they're going to want to come from the other side, which might not be what they want. They've thrown so much down this right side that they really feel they know the ice. But it's the left side that's open right now. We were talking earlier about some of the fun costumes. I see the Unicorn onesie team has come on back. We had a couple good teams. We had a couple good costumes last draw with the pink ponies and who else? Oh, the Bruton's sexy costumes. I'm not sure if they have changed yet, but they definitely should never change.
Like Hot to Go is coming down and wasn't exactly the weight that they were hoping to have.
Yeah, I think that the left side of the ice really kind of put a little bit of fear into them, and they're still sitting 2. They're still in a really good spot.
It's still a nice high guard.
Yeah, and it really cuts down on that draw path. So Kyle and Nick Datlowe have to figure out what this last shot should be. They're trying to figure out if a draw makes more sense, if they should try to tap that yellow guard back, if they should try to hit on that yellow and flop over, if they should try to slam into that yellow and try to get out those reds. That last one I'd say is by far the most aggressive play. They're taking a look, they're setting it up, figuring out the angles, and it looks like they are going to be playing the tap back on that yellow guard. And I think that's the right play. Because if you end up too wide, you might skinny around it. If you miss it, it's 2, and that's too bad. But that's the worst that'll happen. With this amount of run back, though, you probably need, I'd say, backline weight, maybe a little more. Oof, sweepers on this one, very, very heavy. I think they might have an angle on it, though. Oh,
They
just
just
missing.
missed that.
That was a great effort all the way around, but it is going to be a steal of 2 for Hot to Go. This game is really going back and forth. Gimme, gimme, gimme now with just a 1-point lead, 5-4 after 6 or after 5. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, popping into them, the strap-on Sliders currently have a 5-3 lead. They took 1 in the 5th. So in the 6th end, the 3 Yanks and a BJ are coming down. Looks like they're looking for just a quiet tap onto this red shot rock, pushing it out, and yep, they'll take over shot. And trying to get an idea of where we are in the order. I think they're on Vice Stones. Yeah, unfortunately too many people are in the way for me to see, but I think that, yeah, it is Vice Stones. Ooh, this looks like it's slowing up a lot more than they'd like.
They're trying to just get this over the hog line, and they're going to do it.
All right, good sweep. I didn't see. Is that Naomi doing the lead for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, Naomi really one of the better leads in the club. Jimmy Fallon with his corner guard.
Like another center guard, Zoe? I like a center guard. You were right.
I must once again say Jimmy Fallon, not the noted game show host, but in fact our very own curler.
Still just as funny.
Just as funny and arguably more handsome. Sweepers on this one again. Looks like they want to make sure that this gets around the guards. And it's definitely through the port. Will it come to rest where they want? It looks like it's just going to be another center guard right on the center line. Doesn't quite get in, but it's really taking control of the center, which you definitely want to do in a close game like this without the hammer. Jimmy with his second rock, looking to use those 2 red center guards to his advantage. Sweepers looking to make sure that they stay off of those guards, and it's curling quite a bit. This might be crashing on the second one.
Not enough weight there.
No, not enough weight at all. It said it's just going to add to the guard pile. So now, hot to go. David Schlanger looking to draw in here. With all of this control, really the first team to get to the 4-foot is going to have a massive advantage for the rest of the end. You know, I'm going to date myself here for a moment. It wasn't until last week that I actually listened to the song Hot to Go. It's really good. It was really well done.
I just realized what you were talking about. I just realized I was asking about this song last night, actually.
Oh, wow.
And the Gimme, Gimme, Gimme on the screen, folks are only seeing Gimme, Gimme. this is the ABBA song.
Yeah.
And not the Britney Spears, Gimme, Gimme More, Gimme More.
Yeah. So we are hitting literally every generation.
That's right.
Our musical asides, Gimme, 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 looking to get into the forefoot, and this might be a touch deep, but no, it is curling really nicely.
Wow.
That's a great shot there. It's Jason Fountain, I believe. Kyle sharing a wry smile with us.
Getting some big laughs and smiles from Kyle.
Oh yeah, he is well aware that his team just executed a great shot. And he's like, I didn't even have to do anything. I just told them what to do. It looks like over on sheet D, if I'm reading that right, they blanked 5 and then yellow took 1 in the 6th. So it's currently, I believe that's 8-1 for fashionably late.
I actually think they hung the wrong number because I watched that end.
Oh, okay.
So I think the number's out of order, and they just didn't think about it. Because if they were going to blank the end, it would have been hung down by the cork.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I couldn't see the cork over there, but I just kind of assumed. All right, a pretty solid draw there for Hot to Go as they're checking out on the ice. And even though yellow is still shot, there's enough of that red rock hanging out that if they wanted to use that to knock the yellow out, it makes it a lot easier. It gives them a much bigger target. Meanwhile, Jason with his second rock after that absolute beauty of the first, looking to get past everything, and I think it's just going to be... It knocks into the pile of guards, and more importantly, it splits up a couple of the guards, really widening that guard area. So it makes things a lot harder, I think. There is still a port if red wants to try to run their red back, but it's... To keep that straight, you need a lot of weight, and I'm not sure they want to do that. I think that's what David's talking about right now. It's like that port's there. They may actually want to consider coming on the redstone on the top 12. I think that might be a slightly easier shot, noting that both of them are very hard. Or the other option here is yellow has the hammer. They may be content to junk it up and give yellow the 1. It's the 6th end. If you're down 2 with the hammer into 7, it's not ideal, but it's certainly more ideal than other options.
Down on sheet A is looking real interesting over here, and
oh my goodness, yeah. So over on sheet A, the strap-on sliders currently sitting 1. 3 Yanks and a BJ. This is their second to last rock, their first skip stones, I believe. And it looks like they're going to be trying to, as Rob Myers would say, get the red out. On sheet C, just trying to shoot that port, and unfortunately all they're really doing is closing that port up. Yeah, it was. I think with the weight they wanted, it just wasn't there. So now it's either going to be a force or it's trying to figure out what that looks like. Because I think every other shot that red could want is going to be real dangerous. Sheet A tap up. I think it is still going to be red sitting 1. So despite, it looks like 5 rocks in the forefoot, only one of them is actually going to count as of now. Meanwhile, a really nice guard from Gimme, 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 blocking up that entire path. So that's going to take away a lot of the run back options. So now the question for Hot to Go is, what do you do to get a steal in here?
Wow, and they're looking at going straight up the gut.
They're okay.
They're
So
looking at, that's a really risky shot.
yeah, I mean, just from our vantage point, that port appears to be slightly more than a stone's width. So in the best case scenario, that's a really, really hard shot. That being said, every other shot they would have to attempt is also really hard. So if it were me, I would probably try to run the yellow-red, and I think that's a safe option for them. Because I think that is the least dangerous shot. There's really no way to run a yellow into anything and have it
They're
out.
going with some weight.
They are going with some weight. Well, they're going to have to move some granite no matter what. And looking to hit that port. Will they make it? Oh, not quite. Although I'll tell you what, they've got another shot at it, and I think they've actually made the shot a little easier on themselves. If nothing else, they only have to hit their rocks, which, if nothing else, is a great morale boost.
Meanwhile, in the warm room, it's really getting social in here. It looks like an introvert's nightmare.
Yeah, I'm really glad I have headphones on. Nick and Kyle trying to figure out what precisely they'd like to do. And that's...
Looks like Kyle's giving quite a bit of ice. And
yeah, I suspect that either they are... I think they're going to try to take away all of these runbacks and just throw up a guard.
a high guard.
Yeah, just try to get all of those out of play, because those are really the only shot that Hot to Go have for points. Sheet A finishing that end.
Looks like with yellow getting one.
I think so, but we'll wait for them to hang it.
Yep.
And, oh yeah, this looks like a really nice guard for Nick. That blocks up pretty much every single run back that Hot to Go would have wanted to try. I would say from a mathematical perspective, it might be there, but from a realistic perspective, it's super hard.
This is a whole team affair. All four of them are talking about it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, looking at it, I'd think real hard about coming after this red rock here.
They're on the left side.
Yeah, so the second highest of the reds, just to the left of David as you see him. Because it has a pretty straight shot onto your red. So if you get the angle right, it's there. Which, considering that nothing else is there, might be good.
As you mentioned, that's geometrically possible.
But really, really tough.
Very tough.
And I think they're taking a look now and trying to figure it out. Here's the thing. Really, you just want to make sure, whatever you do, that the worst that happens is you give up one. You do that, you've had a fine end. And frankly, sitting second, third, fourth shot, it will be tough to give up more than one. But the way this game has gone back and forth, it's been really nip and tuck.
I didn't realize we're actually only just getting to Skip's rocks.
Yeah. So they might instead be looking to blow it up.
Over on sheet D, we had handshakes. I know Red scored in the 6, but I don't know how much they scored. But I'll put it up as soon as I know.
I think they already took down the scores. So yeah, it is going to be Fashionably Late taking the win over Fruity Pebbles. And once we have confirmation on sheet A what that score was, there we go. Yeah, it was 1 yellow. So strap-on sliders do hold the lead 5-4 over 3 Yanks and a BJ going into the 7th. Hot to Go still working on the math here. As we mentioned previously, the Potomac Curling Club has arguably the highest number of PhDs per capita of any club out there. And so any discussion about math or physics immediately becomes a whole thing.
So I was just getting confirmation that both sheets A and sheet C, both of these that are still playing, these are still in the A bracket.
Oh, okay. So both of these teams are undefeated.
That's correct.
And moving on, if they take this win, would that put them in the A finals?
The winners will be playing each other in the finals.
Wow. Oh. So really interesting action there from Hot to Go. They ended up playing the about 4 rock run back. The angles were there. Unfortunately, the weight wasn't. And yellow's still sitting 1. Red still has 3 in the house. And they are all pretty well lined up. That being said, I could be wrong here, but if you take a look at that yellow that's just to the left of the center line, I think you could get to that and tap it up. It's a tough shot, but everything is.
Let's see what they call here.
They may instead be playing defense. It would be a very, very difficult shot with the hammer. Oh, no, this isn't the hammer. This is yellow's first, so yellow has hammer. So I think they might also be looking at the port between the 2 yellow guards on the right. If they can hit that, they might be able to spin into the 4. That's a really tough shot, especially with the amount of curl that they've been getting. I would think really hard about coming after that yellow stone that's just to the left of the center line, trying to push that in. If you come at that with back 4, back 8 weight, I don't think there's any way to push the red into shot position.
Well, it looks like they were talking about the in off the red.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like they were talking about a multi-stone run back.
Yeah, but you're right. I think they may have just called the in off that red all the way at the edge of the 12. So yeah, that red rock all the way at the edge of the 12. Just kind of hanging out there. If they can hit that at just the right angle, they might be able to get into the 4-foot, get behind a lot of that backing.
Sweepers are immediately on this.
Yeah, this
is definitely a draw weight shot.
Oh, yeah. I think this is more guard weight shot,
and
actually.
Here it comes.
I don't even know if this is making the hog line.
No, it's not going to make it.
That's not going to make it.
Oh, no.
I think you're right. I think they called a draw, and it went so far outside that it just got into the frost, and there was nothing that the sweepers could do.
Well, it's also a situation where Kyle doesn't want to make the house worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now they're sitting shot. It's looking fine. That'll give them a lead to 6-4 going into the 7th. So.
And it also sets up the hammer for you. If they are able to even take 2, or if red is able to take 2 in the 7th, that means you have the hammer tied going
coming
home.
back.
So now, hot to go. Trying to figure out if the angle is there. That's the thing. In a perfect world, if you are able to get rid of that shot stone somehow, yes, it could be a bundle of points for red. The problem is, 1, you need all the math to work out, and 2, you're trying to move, 5 separate stones. You need a whole bunch of weight. So needing that amount of weight accurately is exceptionally hard to do for, a pro-level curler.
Well, I mean, Zoe is capable of this. She's been in the junior program with us for about 5 or 6 years now, with her and Camille. And David is a coach, and Naomi joined us as a coach this year. And she is absolutely capable of making a shot like this. We do these shots for fun.
Oh, my apologies. I did not realize she was a junior. In that case, I assume she's going to make it.
That is correct. We actually do shots like this for money. We call them bounty shots.
Nice.
And Eric will come in, and we'll set up impossible shots. And if they make them, whoever makes it first wins like $5.
Nice. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't quite there, but...
No, but she opened everything up.
She opened everything up, and...
She's got... Oh, unfortunately, it's for Kyle, though. That
yeah.
was the last shot.
This is the hammer. Even so, it's still a very tough draw for 2. You've got to come very far from the outside and get a lot of curl. I think that... I mean, you really only need to hit maybe half 4 to get a second point. So if I were Kyle, I would definitely throw what I thought was like back 8 weight, considering how far out you are. And just make sure that the sweepers keep it clean at a minimum. Shot is away. Sweepers are on it.
Oh, that's curling quite a bit.
It is curling quite a bit. Will it get around the guards?
Doesn't look like
it will not, unfortunately. So after all that craziness, it ends up being 1 yellow, a take of 1. Gimme, 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 taking the 6-4 lead going into the 7th end. A really well-curled game, though. Like, these teams are giving each other really difficult shots, and even when they're not making the 100% perfect shot, they're still making really good shots and like net positives.
I mean, we do need to remember one of these teams on the either sheet A or sheet C is going to be the champion.
That's absolutely true. you know, you're looking at 4 very good curling teams. If we can take a look at the house on sheet A, there is a massive jumble of rocks. There's a massive jumble. It looks like a flying V in front of the sheet A house, but only one rock is actually touching the 12-foot, and it's barely biting. So the strap-on slider is currently sitting 1. 3 Yanks into BJ looking to get around all of that and sneak in. And it looks like they're going to do just that. The question is, how far can they push it over and get under cover?
We're at skips rocks now, so that was the first.
Yeah, that was the first skips rocks for 3 Yanks into BJ. They are shot, but they are also wide open. So now, looks like Courtney's going to try to just hit and try to flop in under all of that stuff. The thing is, it is going to be very tough to get to the inside of that yellow rock just because of how all the guards are staggered. But if she can do it and she can get into underneath all of that cover, it will be practically impossible to remove it. I think that is...
That's heavy.
Yeah, touch heavy. So, yeah, sheet C going through the lead rocks right now. Currently a really nice center guard for Gimme, 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 and a high corner guard for Hot to Go.
They are given a lot of discussion on sheet A, and it looks like they might be doing the risk, high-risk shot of...
Are they going to try to
long
shoot
look the Reds, right along and make a run back?
You know, it's not a bad call per se. It's a funny call to be sure, which is kind of what I expect from Courtney. But I think Laura's trying to talk her out of it. Over on sheet C, Naomi's second rock. They're trying to push this off of the center line and maybe sneak into the house. Looks like it's just going to be a guard right next to the center line guard.
So sheet A, it looks like they decided on promoting that
very high guard.
High guard, yeah.
You know, that's not a bad idea. It's pretty safe. Depending on the angle, you might get the promote. You might accidentally push the yellow out or away. There are a lot less bad things that can happen. Or in this case, you just completely open up that side, which is probably the worst thing that could happen. And that's still okay. Really nice second shot there for Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Tucking it in there. So now David Schlanger, Hot to Go, trying to figure out what the right call is. I believe this is the 5th rock at the end, so they can't remove any of those just yet.
This will not for folks that use the locker room labeled women's, our queens are going to need to set up. And if you have stuff in there, if you could like sort of consolidate it or move stuff over, we'd really appreciate that. So for anyone who has stuff in the locker room labeled for women's use, if you move stuff around now, that'd be great.
All right. David's shot is away. Super's coming on this. Just trying to sneak around those 2 yellows. And it's going to be pretty close. It looks like they've got the weight. They just want to make sure it gets around the guards. Ooh, I think it's going to crash, unfortunately. Yeah, it just crashes into the middle there. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, They are 3 yanks into BJ, looking to draw that open side. Try to get behind all of that, and just ticking off of that highest yellow guard and putting themselves, honestly, it's another guard, and it's okay. So strap-on sliders, so here's the thing. Strap-on sliders have the hammer. They're up 1. Yellow is sitting 1, but they have a pretty open hit. And if they're able to hit and stick, that's 2, because that they have a very high biter on the 12 that is currently second shot.
Looks like they're going to try to be taking out that yellow so that they can go blank.
Oh no, that would be for 2. It's a hit and stick for 2. Because that's on.
Oh, that is on.
Yep.
Didn't see that.
Courtney's hammer is away. And they just want to make sure that this gets that out.
Looks like weight's good.
Yeah, they seem pretty happy with it. Not a ton of work from the sweepers.
Hoping for curl. Was it enough?
Unfortunately, caught it on the outside, meaning that there was a lot of room to that it had to cover. And unfortunately, that is a steal of 1 for 3 yanks and a BJ. They now tie it up with the strap-on sliders. It is 5-5 heading into the 8th end. So the strap-on sliders will retain the hammer coming home. But man, that could be a little hit to the morale there. Over on sheet C, yellow, gimme, 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 still sitting 1. They are up 2 points, but hot to go have the hammer. They have the last rock in the end.
They want to go just around that.
A little too heavy, though. And that's the thing. Weight has been so difficult to find on this ice.
Looks like Hot to Go is going to try to do what Gimme, Gimme, Gimme couldn't. Try to sit behind his guards at the top of the house.
Yeah, it's also important to note that if they end up crashing those guards, a promote works just as well.
That's right.
Although from here, that looks like a draw. Will they be able to get around? Yo, just skinning it. Just skinnying it. Sneaking in behind, getting half 4. It's slightly uncovered, but Kyle instead calling for the freeze, which I think is a really good call there. If you can force Hot to Go to 1, then you're up 1 with the hammer coming home. Yeah, for Gimme, 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 the optimal situation is definitely the force here. I think they would even prefer that to the steal. And just a little bit of a nudge back on that shot rock. Red's still sitting 1. Over on sheet A, they are working through the front end. Yellow currently sitting 1 with an open rock, half on the 8-foot. And I think at this point, Courtney is looking to blow up the 3 guards that are on the center line, or thereabouts. Ooh. I'm not sure that's what she was looking for. They did remove 1 stone, but they also pushed another yellow counter in. No, yellow does not have the hammer. Red has the hammer on sheet A. So yellow wants to start shrinking that scoring zone. They want to make it as tight into the 4-foot as possible. And right now they do have 2 counters, but they're both on the 12-foot. So now they're trying to draw into the 4-foot, preferably onto the button, and really shrink that scoring area down. And I think that's going to go a little bit too far for them. Courtney working to push it out, and they're taking a look. I think it is still in play, although I am not sure if it is in the house. It honestly doesn't matter because next point wins. Over on sheet C, we've got a little promote here, and that's going to work out really, really well for Hot to Go. That's a great shot. That was a fantastic promote from Hot to Go.
And we got fans in the house of that one.
Oh, yeah. Red now sitting 2. And Kyle and Nick trying to figure out what the right play is. And it looks like they're going to go after their own yellow, try to chip out at least 1 of those red shot rocks, which I think is the right play. I think there's too much stuff in the front right now guarding up everything that you can't remove all of it. They only have 2 rocks left, so they have to use what's available to them, and that's the yellow stone on the right side.
Over on sheet A, looks like Red just peeled their own.
Yeah, the strap-on sliders, they don't look like they're in a great situation, but it's okay because the scoring area is, like I mentioned, still very open. So
And next point does win, or
yes,
the final point does win.
I'm pretty sure the only thing I can say for sure is that there isn't going to be a blank end. Meanwhile, over on sheet C, oh, you know, that's a really nice shot there. A quiet tap. It moved a little bit of granite, but more importantly, it pushed yellow into second shot. So red's still sitting 1, but they're only sitting 1. And it'll be really difficult for red to get those stones out. They might want to consider a promote from that red stone on the left, that red guard. This is their first skip stone, and they do have hammer. So, yeah, it looks like they might be considering the promote on the red closest to the house. Over on sheet A, a really nice tap and stick from strap-on sliders. They have gotten into the 4-foot. And now is incumbent on 3 Yanks and a BJ to try to knock them out. Sheet C, this is the first Skips Rocks for Hot to Go. And they're looking for the angle raise here, I believe. Want to catch this redstone on the outside.
Looks like they're going for the promote here.
Yeah, I'm not sure they've got the weight for it, though, unfortunately. That's... So now with 1 stone apiece, red's currently sitting 1. Yellow is happy with this situation, but they have opportunities here. And trying to see... So if they really wanted to play with fire, I think they could run the yellow on the center line back and move a ton of granite. That is a extremely dangerous shot, I'd say, because if you clip one of the reds, something very strange could happen. So it looks like they're being way smarter than me, and instead tossing one all the way on the outside and just trying to protect their own yellow rocks.
Looks like over on sheet C, they are trying to tap on that outside edge.
If they can just catch that on the outside, they might be able to push that into shot. Ooh. It's a really nice attempt. I think it's only red 1, though. Not quite enough, but definitely changes things up.
So red does have hammer, so they're gonna be strategizing, seeing what they can do now.
Yeah, I think there are possibilities here where they can get 2. I don't think there's a possibility where they can get anything else. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, red is currently sitting 2. They have snuck 2 of them into the 4-foot, and so now 3 Yanks and a BJ have to figure out how to get those yellows out. This is the first skip stone. Will they be able... Oh, they've hit the port. They got 1 out, but only 1, and they spill out of the 4-foot. So red's still sitting 1. So Courtney now looking to figure out what she wants to do. And it looked like she called for a draw to the far side of the 4-foot, which is really smart if she can pull it off. Because if she's able to get underneath those guards, sit roughly parallel to her shot stone, it's going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to get both of them out with 1 rock. Courtney's first stone is away in the 8th end. Sweepers are on this. Want to make sure it stays off of those guards. They're really happy with this so far, as the stone is released on sheet C as well. Oh, I think they're really, really happy with this stone. It's going to sit just in front of that shot stone, and it is going to be second shot. That's a great shot right there.
Sheet C looks like this.
They're looking for the promote. Or they're trying to hit that port. Oh, no. So that was hammer, and it is going to be just 1 red there. So Gimme, Gimme, Gimme does force the single. So coming home, starting the 8th end, gimme, 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 up 1 with the hammer. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, 3 Yanks and a BJ down to their final shot. And they need the 4-foot. They need full 4. I can't quite tell what they've called. They may be going for a tough angle raise. But if
Looks like they may be calling for a promote of that yellow that's sitting in the 12.
Yep. Yeah, if they're able to pull that off, it's going to be really difficult to get that out. But if they don't pull it off, the game is over. So they need to get onto the outside of this.
They need to stay out there.
Their sweeper's working real hard. I think they're already off the promote.
Oh,
they're going for the
not
draw
enough
now.
weight.
No, they're sweeping as hard as they can, but it's just not there, and that is game. Very well played from both teams. The strap-on sliders taking 2 in the 8th, and they will be moving on to the A championship tomorrow afternoon. Very well done to everyone playing.
Yeah.
Over on sheet C, that is now the only game left on the ice. As a reminder, gimme, 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 up 1 with the hammer. They put their first stone all the way out in the wing. They want to make sure that there's nothing for Hot to Go to hide behind. Hot to Go, a very nice center guard, so they gave themselves something to hide behind.
Looks like they like the weight.
Yeah, this is looking really nice for
Nice
a draw.
curl.
And yeah, they don't even need to finish it. Perfectly happy letting that sit right in the 12.
That's a nice throw.
And Kyle says it was a good throw. Let's get rid of it.
And the
Very
warm
nice
room
hand.
is welcoming the players from sheet A.
Ooh, sweepers immediately on that one from Gimme. Trying to make sure that it stays off that center line guard, and it does. And a very nice hit and roll out. Not leaving them anything to play with. David going for that draw once again, trying to sit behind that high guard. It's going to need to get over a fair bit. It looks like the weight's all right, though. Would like it to slow down a bit. It's going to sit.
That's going to sit right in the 4.
Right in the 4. Yeah, really nice weight there. Good control, good judgment. It is still pretty open, though, so Cal calling once again for the head. Wants to keep this sheet as clean as possible. That was, let's see, that was the 5th rock, so if need be, they can now peel those guards.
If you can hear that noise, that's the warm room welcoming Courtney as she walks in.
Another very nice hit and roll out. All right, looks like they gave a touch less ice, which I think is wise. Because their last few draws, the weight's been really, really good, but they've just been hanging out a little too much. Ooh, but as soon as they did that, it's jumping inside. And yeah, that literally went sideways.
Now they're going to try to see if they can even get over the hog line. Yep, they barely did.
Yeah, that had to have picked on something.
Yeah, that
that changed directions so suddenly.
Yeah, that was not natural. So now Jason Fountain looking to get rid of that center guard and peel it away. And looks like he's going to do just that. Oh, yeah. Peel away, roll it away, and that's one less stone for them to use. So hot to go. It looks like they're going to call for a much tighter guard, which is wise. I think the high guard wasn't really doing them a ton of favors. Got to carve this over, I think. David working on it. Will it get into the house? No, but it is a useful guard if it sticks around. Kyle says, I don't want to stick around. Sweepers on this one, just making sure that it hits the line they want. And they are hitting and rolling away. They're trying to roll this as far as they can. Not the best result, to be honest. They did get rid of the red rock, but now they've left them something to play against. So Hot to Go is going to try to sneak in behind that yellow guard now. Any sort of cover they can get will be helpful. That looked like it moved straight out of her hand. I think this is going to end up being another guard.
They are sweeping hard, trying to get that over the hog line. They'll get it.
They'll get it over the hog line, and they'll get it pretty close to the center line, too. Yeah, as we move on towards the later half of this end, if you're Hot to Go, it's not the best situation. Like, you'd love to see a few more stones in front of the house, maybe one of yours in the house, but you could be in a much worse position. They can't hit everything right away. They can't hit that one, though. There are a lot of stones on the right side, though, and if you are able to sneak around them.
That looks like the best way that they could go is sneak around and hide behind those two stones now on the right side of the house.
Yeah, you really have to, I think, skinny that very last guard closest to the house, and then just figure out some way to carve it over as far as you can. I do think there is a path if they wanted to play the outturn, just starting on the far side of the center line and really go out to the wings. But that's an extremely dangerous shot with the amount of curl that they've had. I think this is by far the higher percentage shot. The question is, will they get around the guard, and will they get enough curl?
This is first skip stone. Stones away.
The sweeper holding the line. It is moving, but I think it's going to be around the guard. I think they're watching this really closely. They just want to make sure this sticks around. Oh, just getting around the guard,
that
not pushing it over.
Very nice.
That's
throw.
A great shot right there.
Great shot.
Hiding behind that very last guard into the forefoot. What a pressure shot.
And the hot to go skip giving a big sigh of relief, knowing that she did great.
Oh yeah, when you make a shot like that, just in your head you're like, yeah, I'm amazing. So now Kyle has really two options. He can either try to follow them down, he can try to peel away that guard, or he can try to run it back. I imagine he's going to go for an upweight shot, whether one of the last two. Perfectly happy to peel it away, because then that's going to require them to put it back. But if it ends up being a run back, I think he's really happy with that too.
Ooh, that is curling. That's going to run into his own.
I think that's the goal.
That.
Oh, it is. Doesn't have the angle though. So now this is interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be trying to come around that guard. He was trying for that run back and didn't hit it right on the nose enough.
So now there's a question for Hot to Go. Do you protect that shot rock, or do you try to pump another one in and take the lead? For me, I say go for it, especially considering what the skip did last shot. The problem is that if you try to throw another draw in, it's extremely hard to get it under cover. You could play one out to the wings and just say, okay, this shot rock is covered enough. I just want to put the pressure on you to make a shot. Yeah, I think splitting the house is, a pretty good idea.
Splitting the house would be great here. If they could do it on the other side of the 4.
I would say splitting the house is great here if and only if you think they can't get to that shot rock. And I do think that the run back is absolutely there. It's a tough shot. They've proven they're willing to throw it. They're talking about it. They're still trying to figure it out. But no, I would say that is draw weight again. They're going to try to pump another one into the forefoot.
That's it.
And if they come a little light, I think they're happy with that, because they'll be able to guard up their shot rock, and they'll take what they hope is a steal of 1 and go to an extra end. Because, steal of 2, obviously very difficult, but at this point, not out of the realm of possibility. And now, of course, it's time for the hardest shot in curling. Whatever you just threw. They're taking a look, trying to figure out. I think she's trying to figure out if this is the right call for her. Oh no, she's just asking for a little bit more ice.
She wanted a little more ice.
I don't mind that. You don't want to crash on the yellow guard. No matter what, you do want this in the house somewhere. And preferably somewhere where if Kyle hits it and sticks, that's not shot. Kyle's been pretty on point with his hits tonight. Ooh, sweeper's on this one real quickly. Want to make sure this is around the guard. Ooh, it's coming down. It's going to be pretty close. I think she's going to... Ooh, it's going to be real close.
That's real close.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, wow,
again.
what a shot. What a shot. Oh, and she knows it too. Wow, look at her.
Wow.
She's like, I just did that.
Again.
Good job.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the Potomac Curling Club Juniors program. Oh. So now, red sitting 2. If this is the way it ends, Hot to Go will steal the victory and steal the berth in the A championship away from Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Kyle, Nick, Jason, and Jimmy.
About it. All eyes in the warm room are on Kyle.
Every single eye in the warm room. And
even the entertainment.
Yeah. And it looks like the call, and it's the correct call, is the run back of the yellow. Got to come at this with a ton of weight, move at least 1 red stone out. If you move 2 red stones out, that's a win for Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. But I think you have to nose this. He's been pretty on point with his hits tonight. We'll see if he's got one more in him. Stones away. They're staying close. Here it comes. It's just crossing the center line now.
Call for 2.
Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be real close. It's hit.
Missed
Oh,
the
no.
angle.
It's a miss.
And that's
that
a steal
is,
for the win.
What a fantastic game. Hot
What
to
a
Go
game.
steals 2 in the 8th. Steals 3 of the last 4 ends. Takes the victory 7-5 over Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. Hot to Go will be moving on to the A championship against the Strap-On Sliders. That game will be coming at you noon tomorrow. We'll have that broadcast for you. Whew.
What a night.
That was exciting.
What an exciting end to this great day.
Oh, well, it's an exciting end on the ice. Obviously, there's tons more to be done here at the Potomac Curling Club. We have some fantastic entertainment coming up very shortly.
And we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
All right. So thank you all so much for joining us. On behalf of Aaron Pena, Mindy Carlson, my name is Steve Kaltenbaugh. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow morning.